Hey, welcome back to the channel. I really appreciate you for being here, and thank you so much for all the support so far. I've got 5 facts about the DJI Osmo Mobile 6 gimbal, which recently came out, which I just got my hands on, and which I totally understand does not exactly fall into the category of home studio stuff. Like, you would never use it in a location or a situation like this. It's more for out in the field and remote production. But it also definitely falls in line with the genesis of this channel, and that is me trying to help you up the production value of content you create. A gimbal can definitely do that if you know how to use it right. I also need to tell you that I've owned previous DJI gimbals, including the original Osmo Mobile. Yeah, I was not necessarily impressed with it back then. I decided to give this one a second chance. I'm happy I did because this is a sharp improvement on the other one. I also own a Ronin, which is larger. It's used for DSLR cameras, heavier cameras. That one has been great. I've had no problems, but it also comes at a much steeper price point. So I understand gimbals. I understand what DJI has been doing, and where they've arrived here with the Osmo Mobile 6. I'm very impressed. These 5 facts are in no particular order. Let's begin with this. I've been extremely impressed with the extremely compact and lightweight, very smart design of this product. You can tell a lot of thought went into how they were going to do this and how they executed the product and how people would use it, including the way that it folds up on itself, it locks on itself, and how about that magnetic phone mount? I mean, that is absolutely the way to do it, because oftentimes after you get what you believe to be that tremendous shot, what's the first thing you want to do? You want to look at it. And the quickest way to get that phone off the gimbal is just take it right off with the magnet, the clamp attached, but have the magnet detach from the gimbal itself. It's quick on, it's quick off. This was created, I guarantee, by people who got a lot of feedback from those who are actually using the gimbal. Like, here's what I would like in the next version and variety. And it does seem like DJI has put a tremendous amount of thought and response into their users. The compact part and the lightweight part are also important, not just in the way that you go around and capture your content. Like, you don't want to have to be flexing muscles all day to hold up the phone on that arm in front of you. But also think of this. Oftentimes, if you are shooting with a phone, do you really need to take the gimbal? Is it really going to make your shots better? Well, the answer is obviously yes, under most situations. But a lot of times people will get lazy just because it's one other thing to carry or hold or hang on to. But they've made it so compact and lightweight, that barrier has been broken. Most people will say, you know what? It is going to make my shoot better, so I will bring it because it's not that much of a hassle. Okay, fact number 2 here. It does seem like the Osmo Mobile 6 requires calibration frequently. It's not a problem, though. You just go into the Mimo app, recalibrate, takes 20 seconds, and it's level the way it should be. Oftentimes, I find myself turning it on, attaching the clamp, attaching the phone to it, and it's just off tilt a little bit. One of the 3 axes, it's not necessarily always the same miscalibration, but it's always off just a little bit. Again, not a problem. You just put it on flat ground, you hit recalibrate, it does its thing, and then you use it for the next entire time, and it's perfect. Every time you double click the trigger and it resets, it recenters, it's exactly how it should be. It just doesn't seem like you can always turn it on, clamp it on, and it's 100% ready to go. It's usually well enough, like if you had to get the shot right then and there, you could. But to really get it aligned properly, it does feel like it needs calibration frequently. But again, if that comes across as a complaint, I'm here to tell you it's really not a problem. Okay, that Mimo app, as I mentioned before, it is part of setting up your Mobile 6, your Osmo Mobile 6 gimbal, and it is the preferred way to take video and photos and other features too, like hyperlapses and time lapses with the gimbal. It is the preferred way to capture your content, but thankfully DJI did not make it so that it needs to be the only way, right? Like, you could still use Filmic Pro. You can still use the native camera app in my case with the iPhone. I love the fact that DJI did not close off the ecosystem completely to other camera and capturing apps. The Mimo app, by the way, what's super convenient about this, there is the option for you when you set it up that as soon as you attach, not the phone to the clamp, but the clamp to the gimbal, the phone will recognize that and it will automatically ask you with one tap to open up the Mimo app to start capturing your content. Again, it's so brilliant. It's so thoughtful because previously you put the phone on the gimbal, then you have to scroll with it sideways and it's on there and it's hard to really navigate. No longer. You attach the phone or the clamp to the gimbal, the Mimo app in one tap, boom, opens right up, you're ready to go. So it is the way to adjust settings and to go back and change things, configure and calibrate, as I mentioned before. And it is a way to capture your content as a camera, both video and still, but it's not the only way. So I've got no problems with it. I've got nothing but good things to say about the way they set it up. Okay, more on the design of this gimbal and 3 features that just kind of make it worth the entire price and kind of blow my mind all in the process here. The selfie arm, the fact that this gimbal extends and is a multi-purpose gimbal. It's not just, on a handheld or on a tripod, like you can actually get that length from it to shoot video of yourself. Also the zoom and or focus wheel, you can configure it as your heart desires. But the fact that that's right there for your thumb and it's so easily controllable and it's no longer a rocker switch or anything awkward, it's a wheel. It's a quality wheel. I love that. And also going back to the mag mount, just the fact that it's easy on, easy off, it cuts down on the size and design. You don't need a big fanned out holder part that's part of the gimbal that would have to fold up on itself. You take that right out of the equation. I think the selfie arm, that wheel, and the mount are the most amazing parts of this design. And that's why I'm saying previous versions didn't have all of this. DJI has nailed it with the Osmo Mobile 6. Okay, and last but not least here, active track features. I mean, they could be so powerful for those who are doing vlogs all by themselves. What is active track? It's a couple different things. It actually uses artificial intelligence and kind of screen monitoring to let you use gestures. You want to start recording, you can make a gesture for that. You want to stop recording, make a gesture for that. But it also tracks your face. You kind of drag the area that your face is in, hit record, and then all of a sudden when you move, the camera moves with it. Yeah, that's not happening here right now in my home studio. It doesn't work this way, but it does work with the Osmo Mobile 6. I've got to say that's impressive how they've combined the software part of the phone through the app, as well as the hardware part of the gimbal actually moving and responding with the face tracking. Now, certainly you cannot use Active Track with the native camera app on your phone or something like Filmic. You do have to use the Mimo app to utilize Active Track, but what a valuable tool this is. I mean, this is like having your own camera person. If you wanted to walk around the room, if you wanted to walk up to the camera, it will move for you, not to mention all of the other features which can be activated and configured using gestures. So very powerful stuff that DJI have thrown in here. So those are my 5 facts about the Osmo Mobile 6. I'm kind of lost maybe in the version 2, 3, 4, and 5. I did have the original. Again, not great. I wouldn't make a video about it if I had to, but I do like this one, the Mobile 6. Had it for a couple weeks, used it for enough to know that it is such a great piece of kit to have around, and especially at the price point. As I'm recording this, between $160 and $170, it's going to make all of your phone shots that much smoother. And let's be honest, in a world where sometimes you can get away with using your phone on a really important shoot, like phones these days are capable of that quality, or if it's all about social media and content creation in that avenue, this is no doubt the way to go to get that professional looking video from something that's usually just handheld and in your pocket the entire time. Thanks again for being here. If this video provided you any value, thumbs up on it. That would greatly help me out. And also subscribe to the channel, Home Studio Pro. I've got lots more stuff coming your way in the very near future.